Yeah, Dharam, let me just quickly bring in a few numbers there for our viewers. Last time in 2021, and at that time, eventually the results stood with BJP getting 77 seats and the TMC at 215 seats. It was a landslide victory for the TMC in the previous election. Now, if we look at the exit polls right now, what we're seeing with West Bengal, 144 to 160 is what is being projected for the BJP. If that is even remotely close to what we'll see on the 4th of May, this is going to be a leap ahead for the BJP. You see the max number projected for TMC and the minimal number projected for BJP being at par. But in the previous, just 5 years ago, it was BJP at 77, almost nearly less than half of the midpoint that is required. Total number of seats here are 294, 148 is the majority. Dharam, I'll come back. Just give me a sense of the locations that you had visited when you were there, picking up sentiment and picking up reactions on ground. And how much of that do you see being reflected in these numbers, in your perspective?
Well, touring a lot of areas like Murshidabad and Malda especially, Shivan, where there were a lot of issues that came to the forefront, especially the SIR voter revision list that came out. It became a massive controversy in the state with respect to millions of voters getting deleted. Then the last minute Supreme Court verdict just days before the first phase of the election, where they set up judicial officials to work round the clock to ensure that last minute appeals of voters are heard. How many voters really got added back? How many remained deleted? Those numbers are still officially not clear. So the SIR became a major point of contention, not just for the parties, but also for the voters. And areas like Malda, areas like Murshidabad, which are also border regions along the India-Bangladesh border, the SIR issue sort of overlapping with the immigrant issue in that area, with other issues of employment, of investment, which West Bengal has not seen much of, to be very frank. So all of these issues have really compounded, not to do away with the fact that this entire bipolar contest has seen both the TMC and the BJP really leveling a lot of accusations at each other of interference, of violence, the incidents that we've also seen happen in phase one, especially in these two areas that I'm talking about. So a lot of these issues might also be reflective in terms of how divided the people are, because the one interesting thing that I found, Shivan, was people are usually very open in terms of talking about the issues or the changes that they're looking for or the parties that they're either supporting or they're against. In West Bengal this time, that is not something that was done very openly. One, out of fear of political violence. Two, also because people weren't really sure which way this election could possibly go. So very different environment in West Bengal as far as this particular assembly election is concerned. Now, talking about TMC, as you mentioned the numbers, there's a drastic change as far as the opinion poll and the projections are concerned, because both in 2016 and in 2021, the TMC registered a very comfortable victory with over 200 seats both times. But the BJP is the one that made a massive change from 2016, where it had only 3 assembly seats, to 2021, where it had 77. And now they're looking at a clean sweep in terms of their expectation. Whether or not that happens in terms of the higher projection numbers, that is something we will find out on 4th. But clearly, this is giving you a very, very intense, a very, very close race as far as West Bengal is concerned.
And Dharam, let me also bring in these numbers for our viewers. Let's just look at the voter turnout. 92.88%. That was the voter turnout in phase 1 of the elections in West Bengal, held on the 23rd of April. Today, 29th, the voter turnout as per 6 p.m. stood at 89.99%. It's a massive turnout that we've seen. Dharam, over to you. What do you feel has caused this kind of a turnout in West Bengal?
Well, Shivan, before we go ahead, we have the final numbers for phase 2 turnout. It's now at 91.41%.
There you go. Increased even further.
After polls closed at 6 p.m. So we're looking at just under 93% in the first phase and 91.1% in the second phase, which gives you an average of over 90%. And that's a massive, massive turnout. Now, a little bit of devil is definitely in the details here. In the past, we've always seen West Bengal have a high voter turnout as well. 2021, we saw over 85% people turning out to vote. So West Bengal voters are very, very enthusiastic in exercising their franchise. That's a known. Of course, we also have analysts and statisticians who are talking about how the voter deletion during SIR reducing your base number is also a reason why we are seeing this massive jump of 5 to 6% in the voter turnout, because the number of people who are coming out to vote are the same, but your base rate of your entire total eligible voters has gone down. So there's a little devil in the detail as far as that is concerned. But overall, West Bengal has always been very, very enthusiastic about coming out to vote in massive numbers, and that enthusiasm is across the rural and the urban areas. It's across gender lines as well. We have more women in West Bengal who come out to cast their franchise. As far as the men are concerned, we're at equal numbers in terms of how this entire polling exercise is held in the state. So what do the voting turnout, voting percentage really tells us? It's unclear, because it's always been very high. It's the projections and the issues on the ground that are going to be the determining factor in this, and the women vote as well, because we've seen a lot of manifesto promises by both parties being made to the women of West Bengal. Which one of those parties has really wowed the women in that state is going to be interesting to watch out for.